What's up YouTube, this is Dr. Ars here, and I'll be doing a highly requested deck profile of my Ancient Gear deck. I've been getting lots of comments on this on YouTube a lot, saying when I'm going to have a new deck list up. And lately I didn't decide to update this deck last format because I couldn't get a chance, because this deck had a hard time with E-Dragons and stuff, because this is like a very slow deck. But since the babies died out and all the major back row heavy cards that might hit this deck bad, like compulsive stuff, got dropped out in one, this deck became very powerful, real excellent, and I really love it. So now let's go on the deck profile. Start off with, I run 3 Ancient Gear Golems. I used to run this at 2, but I feel like I didn't draw this enough for Power Bond polymerization, even with the effects of E-Hero Prisma and King of Swamp. And it's been doing really well now. I've been getting a lot of OTKs with this things in Power Bond. And when he's summoned to the field, he can become your opponent can't have no spells and chops when he attacks, and he's a 3000 piercer. Next, I run 3 Ancient Gear Dragons. He can be special summoned real easily with Gear Town, and with this deck I can special summon more than one, so I can do Renegade Seeds. And the only effect I use with him is when he attacks, opponent can't make those activated back row. Next is 3 Ancient Gear Knights. I love this card. It does really great play since he's a Gemini, so I can run Gemini Spark. His Gemini effect is when he's Gemini summoned, your opponent can't back row attacks. And what I like to do as a combo is I attack with Gear Knight, do damage, then I evade Gemini Spark, tribute him, destroy Gear Town to special summon Galvatron Dragon. Not only I get a 3000 beat stick to attack again, I also get an additional draw. Plus he's 18 beater, so that's pretty good too. Next I run 3 Ancient Gear. This is a pretty decent card. If I have one to field, another one in my hand, I can special summon it, so it's good for instant Gotchi, or I can use Machine Duplication to summon all 3 of them to go into Dark Mist, which is really good against evil swarms like Ophion. Just weak him out. So that's pretty great. Next, I run 1 Ancient Gear Cannon. This card is great. I mean great. You tribute this card and inflict 500 damage, and neither player can activate trap cards. So he's basically like a trap stun. 1 Ancient Gear Beast. I kind of like this card. When he attacks, opponent activates no back row, which is pretty generic. And if he destroys a monster, it negates the effects. So, say I attack the opponent's Mystic Tomato or Shining Angel or Raikou, they can't activate the effect because Ancient Gear Beast destroy it. So that's pretty good if I face any Executor decks or any decks that run any flip effects or that kind of stuff. Next, I run 2 E-Hero Prismas. A while back, I run this card because a while back I was facing Gladiator Beast with this deck, and when I learned that they'd use Prisma, I decided to tech this in, and it was really great. Because with Prisma, what you do is you reveal a fusion to your opponent and ditch a card that's listed as a fusion material, and it becomes that name. So I use this effect, ditch Ancient Gear Golem, and it becomes him, so I can use. So he's great for fusions. Next, I run 2 King of Swamps. I can either discard him to add polymerization to my hand, or I can use him with Power Bond or polymerization to substitute him for Ancient Gear Golem for a fusion. Next is and lastly for my 2 hand traps, 1 Trigodia, because he's pretty much a staple in Styles OTKs, and 1 Maxi, which I'm thinking about bumping this to 2 and just side deck this one Tragoedia. And that's it for the monsters. Now on to the spells and traps. For spells, I run the main card of the deck, 3 Gear Towns. When Gear Towns in the field, my Ancient Gear monsters can have 1 tribute summoned already. And if this gets destroyed, I can special summon an Ancient Gear from my hand, deck, or grave. 3 Power Bond. This is your win condition of the deck. You use this to summon Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, which becomes an 8800 attack monster now. So you can do your OTKs. But the one bad part is if you don't do the OTK on the first turn and your opponent still survives and you end your turn, Power Bond's negative effect is the fusion monster's original attack points get deducted to you as damage. And this card has 44 attacks, so that's basically losing half your life points if you don't kill your opponent fast. Next is I run 2 polymerizations. I add this in so it can be, if I don't have Power Bond, I can always use polymerization, and it can be searched out with King of Swamp, which is good. 2 Gemini Spark. I run this because of Ancient Gear Knight. This card is really great because I can just tribute my Ancient Gear Knight to destroy 1 card and draw a card, and like I said, I can use this to destroy my own Gear Town to summon a big monster. Next, I run 2 Polar Duality, which is stable, and I really think this card is really excellent in the deck because with Gear Town, I can just go around summoning my big monsters with just 1 tribute instead of special summoning them, and it gets me the decent cards I need. And lastly, for staples, triple MST because Heavy Storm is banned, and Dark Hole. And that's it for spells. Now on to the traps. Start off with my favorite card that no one sees coming, Magical Hats. Ancient Gears love this trap card. This is really great because if your opponent attacks this card, you can activate this to special summon 2 tokens, which has to be spell cards, so use 2 Gear Towns. And if your opponent destroys the Gear Town, its effect will kick in, and you can special summon your big Ancient Gear. And during your end phase, the other token gets destroyed. So either way, you get to summon 2 big monsters. Plus, and one more thing I like about this card, it's just a fun troll card. Next, I run Devil Mirror Force, 1 Solemn Warning, and 1 Deep Prison. And that's it for the deck. And now on to the extra deck. For extra deck, I run 2 Ancient Gear Golems. This is your win condition of the deck most of the time, because with Power Bond, he becomes 800 attack, and when he attacks your opponent, he can activate no spells or traps, and he's also a Piercer. And also, if this card gets destroyed, you can supposed to summon Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard in your 7th edition, because with Ancient Gear Golem, you cannot special summon them. I run 1 Heretic Heliopolis. As soon as I can use rank 8, I can able to summon him. I kind of use him to either destroy my opponent's back row, or either my Gear Town to storm the field some more. 1 Googly Eyes Drum Dragon. I hate the name. I like it better when it was Garbage Eyes Fat Dragon, but either way, it's still a decent card. He becomes a 4000 beat stick, which is kind of good. And also Konami. Why Googly Eyes? Keep it as Garbage Eyes Fat Dragon, not Googly Eyes Drum Dragon. God, hate you people. 1 Giving Puppet Strings. He does good. He's just used as a 3000 beater. I rarely use his effect that often. 1 Giant Grinder. Now this is my favorite Gimmick Puppet of all, because special summon this, detach a unit, and twice per turn it can destroy an opponent's monster. if it exceeds it destroys. Its attack points it gets inflicted as opponent's damage. So any high exceeds decks like Constellar and stuff like that, this card will do massive damage. And for your rank 4s, you have 1 Utopia, 1 Steel Storm Roach, good for the Dragon Place duels, 1 Maestroke, because I actually managed to summon this out with Ultimate Gear Golem, because that way it makes the piercing damage way more easier. Especially if Ophion's in the field, I can just use this effect. 1 level change, so I can add cards to the top of my deck. 1 full-time popularity, 1 crazy bot, and 1 crazy box. And for rank 2, I run 1 Gotchi Gotchi. And you've noticed I decided to turn Gotchi Gotchi into the Hulk Defender Iron Man. It looks really cool. And lastly, 1 Dark Mist. I kind of love Dark Mist because actually I like its effect to drain big monsters' attack. And that's it for that. And that is it for my Ancient Gear deck. Tell me what you think about the deck in the description, in the comment section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe.